Hi and welcome to GamesWeb. Today we're going to take a look at the Warhammer 40,000 Conquest Part Works magazine from Hachette, Partworks and Games Workshop, and we're up to issue 73. So this magazine comes with a technical Nuggles Rock paint and a technical nickel oxide technical paint. I'd never actually used this before until the sister magazine to this, the Mortal Realms, came out, and decided to do my chain rasps using it, and it's a very, very good paint, especially over a white undercoat. Looks fantastic, really, really quick to use, great paint, highly recommended. Okay, so 2 pots of paint. That's those out of the way. We'll have a quick look at the magazine itself. Okay, so Nuggles Rot and I'm positive this is nickel oxide. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments below. Discover Imperial Knights and use stratagems for your games. And next week we have in issue 74 the Death Guard Battalion, who looks really fantastic. That's very nice miniature. And then we get the first part in issue 75 of our repulsor tank. This makes up 75, 76 and 77. Those 3 issues build up the repulsor, and then the last 2 issues, 78, 79 and 80 is gantries, as far as I can remember, and that was the end of the magazine. Okay, so let's just jump straight in. Okay, so Imperial Knights, big towering lumbering things that were originally designed as agricultural worlds, as labour machines, and they were designed for like moving machinery around and ploughing fields and stuff like that. But of course, with anything, somebody saw that they had an adaptation for war, so they were turned into war machines. And over the years, they've now formed into houses and got a lot of heraldry and pomp and circumstance attached to them, and basically they act like knights of the Round Table, or old Teutonic knights, which is hence why you can see all the heraldry. They're very, very tall. They're bigger than a dreadnought, smaller than a titan, much, much bigger than a man, and they've got somebody sitting inside them, which we'll see on the next page. Okay, so they're piloted by these guys here, Knight pilots. Knight pilots, male or female, they are all of noble birth. They bond with the actual machine itself and use their brains and augmentations to actually link to the knight itself, and they carry a wide variety of weapons, and some of them use in siege, some of them use a close assault, some of them used for just basic warfare. Lots of different types of weaponry on knights, and as you can see on the picture here, you've got knights here, and then the Chaos Marines that they're actually attacking against are a lot smaller, and there's a titan. Okay, so that's roughly the size of a knight to a human being. They're quite big, and that's more or less the size of the actual model itself, maybe slightly bigger. Heraldry, Codex Heraldry. Each chapter has its own heraldry markings to designate who is a captain, a sergeant, a battle brother, or what have you, or an apothecary. And same with veterans as well. Not all veterans wear white helmets. It depends what company it is. This is the Ultramarines. The Ultramarines wear white helmets, or the veteran sergeants wear a red helmet with a white stripe. That kind of thing. It varies from chapter to chapter, but it tends to have a lot of consistency going across the board, unless you're one of the strange successor chapters. And then, of course, each Space Marine chapter is broken down into 10 companies, and then we have all the different battlefield roles, such as assault, or battle line as it's now called, and then tactical, assault, devastator, command, veteran. Infiltrators, you may remember that we looked at those quite early on in the run of the magazine, and I'll try and find the link and leave it down below to the video that we looked at them. They originally appeared in issue 3, but I didn't get issue 3. There's 2 issues I've missed, and issue 3 was one of them, but I did cover them in the subsequent release of the magazine. And these guys are basically anti-infantry. They go in there and they cause as much havoc as possible. And as the name sounds, infiltrators, they infiltrate. And a little bit of look of the actual miniatures themselves and the livery. Okay, in Cursor Space Marines, they are close support. They basically look after your guys by laning bridges and mines and doing reconnaissance and stuff like that. And it's all the different aspects of how they are. And these guys are all Blood Angels. And then now we actually have how to use your how to paint Death Guard details. Now you should have enough paints with these to paint all of your models to this standard, because you've collected over the past 70 odd issues. By now you probably will have run out of some of your paints as well. Space Marine stratagems, this explains how they work and gives you examples. And then we have the Death Guard stratagems, because we've already had the Ultramarine stratagems in the previous issue. And then there's our mission 57 and Convoy Ambush, and that brings us to the end of the magazine. Right, so not a bad magazine. I look forward to actually reading through about the Knights, because that's always quite interesting. We will be still running I'll still be running the competition to win a copy of first issue of Mortal Realms. That's going on until Valentine's Day, and the link will be in the description down below. And check out my review of the first issue. The second issue review will be going up very shortly, probably around the same time as this one, maybe the day after, or the day before, I'm not sure yet, probably the day after. Anyway, in the meantime, I've been Mark. Thank you for tuning in to Gamers Web, and we hope to see you again very soon. Have a great day.